I want to start off. I want to get some info because I'm trying to get as much information on this as I can. Okay, because I did a podcast today with Vince, with Russo, and me and Conan talked about this last week. I talked with some Vince today. He had some info, but I don't know if it's accurate. Um, it's reported. I don't know who's heading the report. Okay, that Warner Brothers is the number one suitor for the WWE. Okay, and me and Conan were discussing this. Is like, what is the potential of if Warner Brothers takes a WWE that they kick off the other program because the WWE says, "Hey, we want exclusivity if we're going to be on the station." And number two, what percentage does Warner Brothers? How much of a percentage have they bought into AEW? Like, what's their partnership? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's that business? What's going on there?
Yeah, so I'll tackle the second one. No one knows for sure. Tony Khan was asked about it, didn't deny it, wouldn't confirm it as far as the percentage of ownership or anything. But he said that he'd be open to it. He just made it very clear that he has controlling interest, if you will.
Right.
And so I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, think about when AEW launched. They had no leverage, and it was kind of a friendly deal. Tony had a friend, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if it was, they wanted a piece of it. And now that friend is long gone, Kevin Riley, I believe his name was, and you're dealing with David Zasloff and company. And I think just kind of, there was a recent, I think it's Mark Shapiro. I'm still trying to wrap my head around all these new TKO names I have to remember, but I think it was him. He did some kind of an appearance recently, just yesterday maybe, and was talking about how they're basically open to the idea of waiting a little bit here to see. He didn't mention any networks by name, but just kind of waiting to see what happens essentially with the NBA deal, because somebody's going to be left out. Somebody's going to have some money to spend. And with the way Warner Brothers Discovery is kind of tighten their belt, you got to wonder if that somebody is them. And as far as exclusivity goes, for years, yes. Does WWE are going to push that right now with this lawsuit going, both MLW going after WWE and then UFC facing something similar? That part, I don't know. I don't think they want to be on the same network as AEW if they had their way. I just don't know how much they're going to push that if it really comes to it.
Well, that's my whole point. I was talking to Conan about that. He was like, because WWE has like kind of a history of doing business like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because right now they have all the leverage. Their competitor draws half the fans that they do, right? And now, like now you have the network that the competitor is on, that they have a piece of courting the competition. Okay, and now so all the cards, like the WWE's like got everybody by the just because of the product that they put out there, the fact that if you're looking at the numbers, and like I talk, this is my take on it. I only hear Conan say too, but this is my take. The Warner Brothers Discovery is looking for programming. Okay, just because they have another wrestling product on their show on their network doesn't mean they can't get another one. Like if you look at like sports programming, there's like ESPN has college football and pro
right
football.
Now, right now they have the NBA and NHL.
Right, they have the NBA and NHL, and now they're looking at like, okay, this is our programming. Here's like the number one wrestling company. Like, how much can we afford to pay these guys to make them part of our network? All right, and like
you got to remember, that the TV deal we're talking about is only for Raw though. Because SmackDown's moving to USA. Okay, and NXT's separate. Just saying, it's only Raw. It's not all their stuff. Yeah.
Well, WWE's done. WWE's on NBC Universal. They're on Fox. They're on Peacock. They're it's like the NFL. The NFL's on CBS, NBC, Fox, Prime. Like it's a good product. It's like so people are looking to add this product to their programming.
Mm-hmm. Here's kind of the genius of if they pull this off, if they really are going to WBD, you probably deal a significant blow to your competition, AEW, and you're going to get whatever you get financially. But then I think the part that nobody talks about is Warner Brothers Discovery, streaming giant, and the streaming deal is coming up soon. So now you've got relationships with them, with their Max platform. And you have the Peacock deal that you have. all of a sudden now, I mean, you could split that, but chances are you're going to pit your two major television partners against one another. That's what they need in order to keep the streaming revenue they're getting or even come close to it, because they got a sweetheart deal from Peacock. And so now all of a sudden you have Warner Brothers Discovery in the mix, interested in bringing all the WWE PLEs to their network. There's the leverage. They can, all right, go ahead. Who's going to make us the best offer, Peacock or Max?
Well, think about that too. The Peacock deal has worked out very well for Peacock. Okay. But we've heard
they're still losing a fortune.
Well, yeah, but they added a lot of, like, it did, they added a lot of prescriptions on their network. We could say, like, adding WWE did help. But then we had the Fox, the Murdoch come out and say, this has not been a good deal for us. We paid these guys $200 million a year. It's like, so it's like, there's a lot of factors and various variables involved here. I don't know. What do you think is going to happen?
That's the billion-dollar question right now. I've been wondering for a long time if Warner Brothers Discovery was going to be a player in this. And if it's not them, FX seems to be heavily rumored. But yeah, I would think it's going to be one of the major players. I guess we can't completely rule out, especially with TKO's relationship with Disney, ESPN. I mean, WWE's made it very clear that they're willing to move Raw to a different night. And if ESPN were to land this, they're not going to want to run it against Monday Night Football any longer. And so even if they go somewhere else, it's really going to have an effect on AEW, you would think, just because they're probably going to switch nights. And, what does that do to AEW? Do they have to turn around and move nights themselves and just to avoid that competition? Because I don't think they want to go head to head. That's
very dangerous, though. You have a 30-year habitual fan base, like, tied into watching wrestling on Monday night. And bro, you're in a completely gray area if you think you're going to take that fan base and we're just going to take them, they're all going to run over to the other night. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that, and that would probably cut into, like, okay, what do we, what TV rights are we paying you? Because we can't guarantee this, 1.8 million people are going to follow us.
Wrestling fans are very loyal. And I mean, we saw it with the move of SmackDown to Fox. I mean, those numbers went up. And I know it's, they're moving to a broadcast network. I think you'll be surprised. I mean, there may be a little bit early on, and they're going to load up those early shows to make a huge fuss over, here's the night we're on, go to it. I think they'll be fine with that. And, one thing I left out, there's always the possibility that they just take the money from a giant streamer. If Amazon, for instance, wants to pay them a bundle of money, it's a risk. But when you already have other deals, one with broadcast, one with cable, all of a sudden streaming becomes a possibility. I don't know. There's something that just tells me that this time, unless they really overpay, that maybe not yet, but 5 years from now, I wonder how much a streamer, if Netflix starts doing more and more live content, if that's going to be where they end up.
I think about Amazon Prime. Sorry, I just want real quick. If Amazon Prime signed them, let's say, you're not going to get these every Tuesday rating reports. Those streamers don't report ratings like a normal network or whatever. They don't really report much at all. So that could take some of the pressure off WWE too.
I think they still, like, the NFL numbers still come out. They
come out of Prime. Okay, right.
Yeah, we do get those. So I think they'd kind of, I just don't think it would be next day, here's the exact number. But I mean, Nielsen's a guesstimate anyway. I mean, there's a formula, but it's not exactly like they're measuring everybody's television as I wish they would. I think it'd be fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, there's still only, like, kind of three sure things. I would probably say only three right now that are sure things on television that you can, like, invest in. It's the WWE, which is the longest running episodic series on television for God knows how long.
Thank you, Michael Cole.
The NFL, and, like, these America's Got Talent shows, which always seem to, like, whatever, it's like, and those are, like, the only sure things. So it's like, why wouldn't Prime? They've already got there's like already we got a piece of the NFL. Let's get a piece of another big dog. And take the WWE.
And if they do, does Raw go to 2 hours? Hopefully, yes. But then my fear is, but SmackDown's on USA. That'll go to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Well, let's say the PLEs on Peacock have kind of been they're shorter than they usually were.
Yeah.
Like, so that could be true. Conan, what's your take on this? What are you hearing, by the way? You got some rumors, don't you?
Who?
You don't you have some rumors that you're hearing about this?
No.
No.
I just think that that when you say that they're going to move the day, I remember very well. I don't know if you remember this Discord, Jason, but did you used to watch the NBA when you were a little kid?
A little.
Yeah.
I was more of a hockey guy.
Okay.
But yeah, a little.
If you remember, they used to. The only day that they really showed the NBA was on CBS, and this may be before your time. Was on CBS at Friday nights. That was it. And now what do we have it? We have it Tuesdays, we have it Wednesdays, we have it Sundays. You know what I'm saying?
Tuesday, Thursday, TNT, Wednesday, Friday, ESPN,
Right.
Sunday,
Yeah.
ESPN.
Right.
Stuff. ABC. Yeah.
The weekend
Right,
after,
like before we only had Monday Night Football, then we went to Thursdays and Saturdays, and you know what I'm saying? They just kept adding on. As long as there's demand, there will be supply. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect example. Not this weekend, but next Saturday. Okay, next Saturday on the NFL Saturday football, all on the NFL Network. You got a 1 o'clock game, a 5 o'clock game, and an 8 o'clock game.
Wow.
All like that, and that's just like this is just difference that we had a Black Friday game this year.
Oh,
this
Monday we're getting 2 games for God knows what reason.
This Monday we get a double header on Monday. It's like bro. It's like when the product's good, you can't sell enough of it. Which is like why did the WWE like right now with Punk coming back, Randy Orton coming back. You got bro. They're in an unbelievable spot. Go
let me. So this is the only thing that I want to say about this, Jason. I just feel that historically Vince has not played well with others, and I gave Disco this example. AAA is a minuscule company compared to the WWE, right? So we went over to we tried to get in the Madison Square Garden, New York, because a humongous Latino, populations and a lot of Mexicans too, and so we were blocked out of that. So we had to go to the Paramount. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's a smaller theater, right?
Right next to it, which we actually ran like in the early 90s. Okay. So WWE had not done SmackDown like in 20 years, like in New York, right? In or Brooklyn or wherever they did it. And they decided to do it, and they decided to do a Raw. You know what I'm saying? The same week that we were doing it. So historically, as you know, that's why they are where they are. They're aggressive. I doubt very seriously they're going to allow another wrestling company to be on the same network they are. And we'll go back to the embryonic stages of remember the Survivor Series when they Crockett?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we go all the way back to that etymology. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and I
just
don't 100% agreed with you. It's just the only question mark.
You think times have changed or the lawsuits?
Just because of the lawsuits. Otherwise, like if this were the last TV deal, of course it was going to be exclusive. There wouldn't have even been a thought that another wrestling company would have been on the same network.
Well, wait a second. We haven't even thought of this though, bro. Vince for like the past few years has been going head to head with UFCs on Saturday nights. They changed their they started going instead of going Sunday nights. They were going head to head with UFC pay-per-views on Saturday nights. Now they're in business together with an amicable relationship. What if Vince McMahon or Hunter or Nick Khan can bridge a gap and start an amicable relationship with Tony Khan? Is that out of the realm of possibility? Or they just
tell you why. Let me tell you my theory. Because bro, they have gone out of their way to take shots at WWE, and I know in words when Cody went there, people were cheering, here you go, dude. And I'm sure that when CM Punk went there, they were very happy about that too.
And Jade.
It probably drives them crazy. And probably Jade too. You know what I'm saying? I think they threw a lot of at them, and now they're having fun. I think.
Look at the reaction internally when Ariel Helwani was just publicly taking shots at Tony Khan.
Right.
They ate that up.
Yeah,
he's trying to get him back on. I don't know if any of you guys saw that.
I saw that.
Is he
Ariel's
really
trying to get him back on? He wants him to come on to talk soccer. And then if he
Right.
comes on to talk soccer, then Ariel's like, I'll appear live on Collision or something. I don't know if he's what, but yeah.
It was a great deal for Ariel. I noticed that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
okay, this way you win, that way you win. Well,
Yeah.
can't win the
He's
men
a-
are
he's a-
trying.
Ariel's an excellent publicist for himself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.